What?
Go ahead.
What are you laughing? It's me, Cee, and welcome back to my channel.
Hey, it's Matt. How you guys doing?
So, as promised, we are starting our wedding series now that we are officially, 9 months out?
9 months out, yeah. May 29th.
We are going to touch on a few things. So, it's going to be a video once a month. And not every video is going to be like sit down like this. We're going to have some vlogs. We're going to have some like DIY videos. Some, just a little bit of everything. But they'll all fall like in the category of like wedding planning, wedding updates, our thoughts on a bunch of different things. And yeah, so Matt.
Yes.
Tell them a little bit about you. Like, they see you on my channel all the time, obviously, because duh. But like, they don't really know anything about you, really. So.
African American. I'm just joking. I'm in law school. I'm in Alpha. I'm Ghanaian. Today we're filming it. Actually, 7 years ago to this day, I asked her to be my girlfriend. August 30th, 2013, so that's a fun fact.
Fun fact. You know what's funny? I thought you forgot.
No, I didn't forget, but for me, it was just like, I didn't really want to acknowledge it because we were supposed to be married technically, so it was just like, it kind of looked like ugly for me to be like, oh yeah, 7 years is...
Girl,
yeah. So
I was thinking that too. I looked at the calendar, I was like, I'm not going to say nothing because I don't know, it was just, like you said, I agree. Yeah. That's funny, but yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, that's me. I like going to the gym. I like working out. I like Moscato wine. Oh. We got a lot of hookahs. You can't see it right now, but we
definitely got the hookahs.
But here's a fun fact about the hookah, though. Here's what's crazy about the hookah. I always share the hookah. People always see the hookah, but I only really smoke hookah like twice a month tops. I just like having them.
People think because we have like 3 or 4 hookahs, we like smoke hookah like every day or every week. No, we only do it like when we're hosting something, or like, let's say we're watching like Versus or something like that. Yeah. We don't just...
Hey, Brandy versus Monica tomorrow. We're going to have that hookah popping. Let me stop.
Alright. Anyway, so yeah, that's a little bit about you. You know, little chocolate ting or whatever. So every time, like, this is a funny thing too. I like bother him so much by giving him like these crazy compliments all the time, and he just looks at me like, girl, okay, I get it, I'm fine, whatever.
No.
But yeah, so I guess we could talk about like how we met when we were the tender age of 19. You want me to tell it?
Yeah, you can go ahead and tell it.
Okay. So I was minding my black business. Anyway, I was minding my black business. It was, what, May or June?
It was May.
May. And freaking 2013, and we were at our mutual friends like graduation cookout thing. And I'm just standing there in the kitchen trying to get my plate, because you know, when you go to a cookout, the plates be going fast. So you got to make sure you get your plate, stand in line, whatever the case may be. Boom. This man here want to walk up to me asking me if I knew where the forks were. Like,
all right, look.
Do I look like I know where the forks were?
Hey, man, look. All right, go ahead. You can finish your story.
Yes. Anyway, so yeah, me back then is like really different from me now, because like I've always been like a bubbly and nice person, but it's more so like once you get to know me. Once you get to know me, not right off the bat, like this one. Right off the bat, he's like a people's person. And for me, I'm more just like stone face, straight Carisha, mean. Yeah, so him coming up to me asking me, in my mind was like, He not really asking me for no forks. He's trying to talk to me for whatever reason, and I don't know why.
Fellas, don't let women do this. I was asking her for forks. I love her. But I was asking for forks. Continue.
Okay, so anyway, you know, the party goes on, what have you, and yet again he finds himself sitting next to me like so, talking to me.
Hold on. Time out.
Talking to me. Oh, what school do you go to?
Look. I walked down to the basement, right? There was about 20, 30 people down there and about 15 chairs. There was one chair next to her.
Yes.
Where am I supposed to sit?
Okay, but with all them other chairs, there was other chairs. You had to sit at the chair right next to me. Like, I don't understand. Just admit it. You wanted the kid, yo. You wanted the kid.
I want the real story. Follow it. Glimpse of Grand.
All right. Anyway, so, you know, eventually that summer, like, we just started, like, hanging out, getting to know each other and stuff. Like, everywhere we would go, we realized we knew pretty much all the same people. So we kept, like, running into each other. And then, yeah, it's pretty much history from there. That's all y'all need to know. Right.
Yeah, that summarizes it.
Mm-hmm. So now that you guys know a little bit about our beginning, like you said, we've been together now 7 years. But when you decided to propose, because I didn't get on one knee, he got on one knee. How did you know that you were ready to do that at this age? We're not old, but we're not young either. So, you know, some people feel like, how old are you? Like 25 at the time?
I just turned 25.
Yeah. So, like, some people feel like, well, you're not in your careers yet. Like, you know, you're in law school, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, why did you deem like, okay, it's time to get on that knee?
I think every man knows when it's time. And by saying that, I mean, like, Ciara and I had gone through so many, like, life moments. Like, she's seen me cry. She's seen me, like, not sleep for, like, 2 nights in a row trying to get something done. And I've seen her in those situations, too. So around that time, we had just gone through, like, a lot of different things as far as, like, me doing well on my law school admissions test, me getting accepted around that time, her expanding her business. It was just everything was just gelling. Catch the beat. She was doing her really starting her YouTube page around that time. Oh yeah, by the way, 2 years ago to the day, we were in Toronto. Check out that first video on Pieces of Sea YouTube on the Degrassi tour, so check that out. But everything was just meshing around that time, and it just felt like I was ready to, you know, this is the woman that has my back through it all. I obviously love her. So let's do this. I'm ready for her to be my wife, and let's enjoy our lives.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Like, that week before you had proposed, I was like talking in like my group chat, and we were just all talking about like, oh, who do you think is gonna get married next, or do this or do that? And I was big on like, listen, I could wait. Like, we're both doing things. Like, I'm not gonna put any pressure on this man or tell him like, oh, we need to be married right now. We need to do this, need to do that. I really thought he would have proposed like maybe after he started law school or somewhere down the line. I wasn't expecting it like at all, but I don't know. I was in like such shock. Like, I kept saying, "Is this real? Is this a prank? Is this real? Like, what the heck?" And I just knew that, like, I always knew that it would be him, but I just didn't know that at that time that he was really like, all right, this is it, you know? So I thought that was pretty emotional. You did that. So yeah, I think that we've grown a lot over the years, individually and together. So, and we'll dig on like a lot of those different topics like in different episodes during the series. So, yeah, that's some good stuff. I ain't gonna cry.
Eat tissue.
No. Now, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, okay? The thing that everybody wants to know and hear and talk about. Our original wedding date was supposed to be
Saturday, August 1st, 2020.
correct. And we did decide to postpone. We felt like it was the best thing for us and our family, and you can elaborate a little bit more on that as to why we decided to postpone and how you felt about it at the time.
I think the biggest thing was we were pretty optimistic, like in March, April, even early May, that we're going to be able to have like that in-person wedding that we always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But once mid-May came around and the cases were still like exploding, we just thought it wasn't the right time to have the wedding that we wanted the way that we wanted. We didn't want to have a wedding where everyone was there wearing masks. We can't really hug our loved ones, especially the older ones. It just didn't feel right. So our hope is that by pushing it back to next May, that we'll be able to have the wedding that we want, or at least under more normal circumstances.
Right.
In reference to the actual, or do you want to talk about the actual marriage or just the wedding right now?
No, go ahead. You could.
In terms of the actual marriage, we weren't really too interested in actually being officially married then doing the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do it the more regular way. We want to have our big wedding that we've always wanted,
mm-hmm.
and then continue our marriage from there. We don't want to start our marriage in the middle of a pandemic and then plan the wedding and then try to reenact those we're married feelings.
Right.
That didn't feel right with us.
Yeah, and then don't get me wrong. Of course, we both know that a wedding doesn't define a marriage. A wedding doesn't define how your relationship will be as a married couple. But as far as us, like we both always wanted this big, like the wedding of both of our dreams. It's not just me and it's not just him, both of us. We both want our wedding to be, or our day to be a specific way. And we're in no rush to just get married for married's sake, you know what I mean? Or have a wedding just because like we want it to be the way we want it to be. And that's just period. Like that's just what we want. Like during that time, there's like a lot of different people were like, well, if you push your wedding back during the pandemic, you didn't really want to be married. And I don't agree with that. Like, it's our day. If we want to push it back, it changes nothing necessarily in our relationship. We just feel like we deserve to have what we want. Like,
yeah, and another thing on that, especially if anyone watching is in a relationship, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, or you're thinking about proposing or you are engaged, do everything on your terms.
Mm-hmm.
The only two people that matter are you two. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about what this person's doing, what that person's doing. Just focus on what you're doing. And whatever makes you two happy, it should be your final goal.
Yeah. And that's with any relationship, like he said. So, well spoken. You get half after that one. Yeah, so that will conclude episode 1. We just wanted to give a little bit of background and talk about things that people will always want to know, pretty much, to start off with. If you guys have any questions or any like topics or things you want us to touch on, you can drop them in the comments down below or DM us. We do have a joint Instagram account where we are going to do like updates of like our wedding and, just like family friendly stuff once we get to that point.
It's going to be lit, man. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah. And then, of course, you can follow me on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. Those names will be up right here, of course. And yeah, you have any final words?
It's great talking to you guys. It's going to be an awesome series. I'm happy to do this. And
all right, we'll see you guys in the next video.